नमामि विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So anyone would like to share what we discussed in our last session?
We saw. Sorry.
No, no, please tell. Yes, Ramchandra, please.
We discussed shlokas, verses 15, 16, and 17, chapter 6, in which we saw that a yogi is a person who has his body, mind, and his actions in full control. He doesn't sleep too much or too less. He doesn't eat too much or too less.
Mhm.
And such a person can attain the supreme abode of the supreme personality of Godhead after this material life.
Yes, correct. So we discussed about the yogi. What all things, if a yogi does not follow, he may fall apart, or what all things can help him to progress in path of yoga. So Krishna is explaining about the sleeping too less or sleeping too much, eating too less or eating too much. Everything has to be controlled. Just like if we see in our case, what happens if something is very dear to us, very favorite to us, the item we may like, we end up eating more. But yogis, they eat as per the need, not as per their greed. So that is the difference. When we eat as per our need, what our body needs, we'll be healthy. Not only will be healthy, we'll be able to control sleep, and eventually it will help us to make advancement also. So all these lifestyle practices helps ourselves to keep healthy, tranquil, and by doing that, what happens? It's this path of yoga becomes easy to follow. It's become easy to follow. So Krishna was mentioning about habits of eating, sleeping, working, and recreation. All has to be in balance. A person who is able to maintain such balance can make advancement in Krishna consciousness or in this path of yoga system or in this path of yoga system. So we'll move to the next verse number 18. I'll pull up the screen. So all of you please join me in chanting this shloka. Yada viniyatam chittam
चिंतम
atmani eva vavastithe
आत्मनि तिष्ठते
nispara sarva kamebhyo
निःस्पृहः सर्वकामेभ्यो
yukta iti uchate tada. Anyone would like to chant this shloka?
यदा भीतं चिन्तम आत्मन्नेव तिष्ठते निःस्पृहः सर्वकामेभ्यो युक्त इत्युच्यते तदा.
Yes, anyone else?
यदा विनीयतं चित्तम् आत्मनि एव वस्थिते निष्प्रह सर्वकामेभ्यो युक्त इति उच्यते तदा.
Wonderful. Yes, anyone else? Anyone else would like to chant? Alright, we'll read the translation. When the yogi by practice of yoga, disciplines his mental activities, and becomes situated in transcendence devoid of material desire, he is said to have attained yoga. We'll read the purport, then we'll understand it in detail. The activities of yogi is distinguished from those of an ordinary person by his characteristic cessation from all kinds of material desires, of which sex is the chief. A perfect yogi is so well disciplined in the activities of mind that he can no longer be disturbed by any kind of material desire. This perfectional stage can automatically be attained by a person in Krishna consciousness, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll read the translation. King Amrisha first of all engaged his mind on the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Then, one after another, he engaged his words in describing the transcendental qualities of the Lord, his hands in mopping the temple of the Lord, his ears in hearing the activities of the Lord, his eyes in seeing the transcendental form of the Lord, his body in touching the bodies of the devotees, his senses of smell in smelling the scent of the lotus flower offered to the Lord, his tongue in tasting the tulsi leaf at the lotus feet of the Lord, his legs in going to places of pilgrimage at temple of the Lord, his head in offering obeisance unto the Lord, and his desire in executing the mission of the Lord. All these transcendental activities are quite befitting a pure devotee. This transcendental stage may be inexpressible subjectively by the followers of the impersonalist path, but it becomes very easy and practical for a person in Krishna consciousness, as is apparent in the above description of the engagements of Maharaj Amrish. Unless the mind is fixed on the lotus feet of the Lord, by constant remembrance, such transcendental engagements are not practical. In the devotional service of the Lord, therefore, these prescribed activities are called archana, or engaging all the senses in the service of the Lord. The senses and the mind require engagements. Simple abnegation is not practical. Therefore, for people in general, especially those who are not in renounced order of life, transcendental engagement of the senses and mind, as described above, is the perfect process for transcendental achievement, which is called Yukta in the Bhagavad Gita. So here, Krishna is explaining. We were seeing how Krishna is taking through what is the process of yoga, Ashtanga yoga. He mentioned about the Yoga Rudha stage and Yoga Rudha. Yoga Rudha are those who are advanced. Yoga Rudha are people who are engaged in working. They are performing Karma Yoga. At the same time, they are trying to fix their mind in remembrance of the Lord. Like that, gradually they develop, and by working what they are doing, whatever fruits they get, they offer to Krishna, by which what happens, they are developing a detachment, quality of detachment, and by which they are able to focus or concentrate or meditate or remember on that Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then once they are completely detached, they are no more hankering for material activities or material desires. They gradually practice this Ashtanga Yoga, the process that Krishna has explained. Further, Krishna mentioned that who is a person who is situated on that platform, who has attained the perfection in yoga. About those, Krishna has shared the symptoms or the characteristics. Now here, again, Krishna is mentioning that if we see the process of Ashtanga Yoga, the end result is what? Samadhi. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, and then comes this Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. These are the 8 steps of Ashtanga Yoga. So end result is completely absorb ourselves in samadhi, in transcendence. And once a person who is situated in transcendence, his mind is completely absorbed in Krishna. He is no more relating himself, or he is no more acting, performing any work on the material platform. He is completely on transcendental platform, on spiritual platform. He has no relation, no work, nothing he has on material platform. Whatever work he may perform, whatever things he may do, it's completely on transcendental level. It's all pure. It means whatever work we do, certain karma we get out of it, whether it may be good or bad. Suppose you have performed some charity, you have given some money to a poor person or something like that, so you'll get some karma out of it. Suppose you have caused mental distress or some kind of distress to someone, you'll get sin out of it. Papa and punya you will get out of your activities. That is sure. In those cases who are situated on material platform. Those who are situated on material platform, whatever work we may perform, it will yield to certain kind of results. It may be good or it may be bad. But a person who is situated on transcendental platform, he is directly under the shelter of Krishna, Devi Prakriti, under which he is not getting any kind of result or reaction to the work he is performing. He is completely situated on transcendental platform. Even though the activity may be same, the activity which is performed by a materialistic person or by this yogi may be the same activity, but the reaction will be different. In this case, there is a reaction of good or bad. In this case, there is no reaction which is going to bind, because good or bad, whatever reaction we may yield, it is going to bind us in this material world. Suppose if we get a good reaction, so to enjoy that good reaction, we have to again take birth and we have to enjoy that good reaction or bad reaction. Nowadays, it's not completely good or completely bad. It is mix of it. More of bad, less of good. As Kali Yuga will progress, more of bad, lesser of good. Like that, it is going to happen. But a person who is completely situated on the platform of transcendental yoga or on the platform of Krishna consciousness, for such person, whatever work he is performing, that reaction is not going to bind him in this material world, but going to liberate him, going to help him to develop relationship with Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And that is called as yoga. Yoga means, it has derived from a Sanskrit word called yuj. Yuj means to link or to connect. Connect to whom? Connect to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. That is yoga. So a person who develops that relationship, who is completely absorbed in thinking of Krishna, who is engaged in serving Krishna on pure platform, gradually will come on that spiritual platform where he has personal relationship with Krishna. He has attained the perfection of yoga. Now yogis, they are different from ordinary person. Even though activity may look like same, but they are different. How? Because an ordinary person is yielding a result which is going to bind in this material existence, whereas a yogi yields a result which is going to liberate in this from this material existence. That is the difference between both. A materialistic person, here Prabhupada has mentioned material desire. What do we understand by material desire? Yes, anyone would like to share? Anyone? So material desires are those which comes out of contact with these senses, and those desires will not bring permanent happiness. It will be praise. Initially, it may look like nectar, but Krishna explains this at the end of Bhagavad Gita in the 18th chapter. Initially, it may be like a nectar, but the end will be like a poison. Like a poison. End will be like a poison. Whereas activities, those which are performed on transcendental platform, or those which are meant for our purification or our existence, initially it may look like a poison, but the end result will be like a nectar. So material desires, it gives instant pleasure to our senses, but the resultant is it binds us in this material existence. We get drowned deeper and deeper into this material existence, into the ignorance. So among all the material desires, Prabhupada is mentioning here, sex desire is the chief. Because how this sex desire is the chief? By indulging in this sexual activities, a person develops an attachment towards the opposite gender. And by doing that, what is happening? When that person develops an attachment towards the opposite gender, he is always thinking of that opposite gender, and he or she may start thinking of expansion by conceiving a child. Then further, there is they develop a social network or society, and like that their desires keep on increasing. Even if you see, there are a lot of research which has happened, and a lot of companies, they also try to, what they do is, when new people they join the companies, bachelors they join the companies after their graduation or post graduation, so there are certain companies which encourages them to marry. Most of the company, directly or indirectly, they encourages them to marry, and that's how they actually, everything is very interconnected. The more they want to get more and more females or ladies or girls on board in their company, so that these people who are working, they get married, and after they're getting married, what happens? They get, because after getting married there is a responsibility, so now that person is going to work hard for the company. Earlier he was working because he was alone, he is not working sincerely, but once he get married, he starts working sincerely, because there is a fear of losing job. If he lose the job, he will not have money to survive. So like this, even marriage plays a very important role in sustaining the economy of the nation. If people they don't get married, economy of the nation will crash. Economy of the nation will crash. But like this, actually, if we see this thing plays a very important role because this binds in this material world. Whereas same thing Krishna is mentioning about sex is kamosmi. Dharma viruddho kamosmi. I am the sex life which is aligned to the religion, to the dharma. I am that sex life. Means by the creator of this existence, this sex life also has a certain utility. What is that utility? Has a utility of creating progeny, of which we have to ensure that this child goes back to Godhead. Putrana, pitrana sasyat, matrana sasyat, guruna sasyat, devrana sasyat. In Bhagavatam it comes, one should not become a father, a mother, or a guru, or a friend, or a demigod if he cannot liberate from the cycle of birth and death to the dependence he is having, or the person in which he is relating. One should not become a husband if he cannot liberate his wife. One should not become a father if he cannot liberate his son or children. So that is the purpose of this sex life. One side, it is material desire, but another side, when it is properly executed under the principles of dharma, it can liberate. Putra, if we understand the meaning of putra, what is that? Putrayate iti putra. Means one who delivers from this, there is a hell called Put. So from that hell, one who delivers is known as Putra. So all these things are meant for developing our relationship with Krishna. But if that purpose is not addressed, if that purpose is not fulfilled or addressed, then it is waste of human form of life. It's known as Shrama Evahi Kevalam. It's simply we are doing hard labor. Day and night we are working very hard. But for what purpose? Not to please Krishna or not to progress in Krishna consciousness, but to degrade ourselves. That's how it is very, very important that we cannot get free from desire. Abnegation is not possible. Here Prabhupada is mentioning. Simple abnegation is not practical. It is not possible only. To get free from desire, it's not possible. But to center those desires around Krishna is possible. By doing so, we can come out of this cycle of birth and death. Getting free from desire itself is a desire. Isn't it? I want to get free from all desires. Itself is a desire. So we cannot get free from desire. It's a basic nature of the living entity or a soul is to desire. Now when we start desiring for Krishna, we can get purified. We have got these senses. So when we engage these senses in Krishna's service, we can get purified. So we have to engage all our desires and senses in Krishna's service. Just like I want to eat some very palatable item. Nowadays, this generation, they want to eat a different thing like pizza, burgers, some, different things. So prepare those things for Krishna, offer it to Krishna and have it. So by doing this, your tongue is satisfied, you are pleasing Krishna, and by eating, having Krishna prasadam, you are developing your own personal relationship with Krishna. And while preparing that bhoga, what is happening? You are thinking of Krishna. Oh, I have to prepare for Krishna. So like that, our mind get absorbed in Krishna. Suppose vacations are coming. We want to visit some place. We want to go and go for some place, tourist place and all those things. So let me go to the place There, Krishna's temple is there. Krishna has performed his Leela. Like that we can plan. I like listening music. Let me hear bhajans that are there, soothing bhajans. Lot of bhajans are there. Hare Krishna mantra, this, that. So many bhajans are there. Let me hear those things. I like to speak. Let me speak about Krishna. I like to read. Let me read Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam or some such Krishna conscious books. I like to, different things or activities we like to perform. Let us do for Krishna. Prabhupada says, if someone has this kind of propensity, just like here Prabhupada is mentioning, that among all the material desires, sex desire is chief. If someone has that kind of ability, he should produce children and engage them in Krishna's service. So, by doing any such activity, even though activity may sound the same, but by doing it for Krishna, one can be liberated. Just like Rishabhadev. Yeah, Lord Rishabha. He had 100 sons. So out of those 100 sons, 84 were the Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas means they were the devotees, ardent devotees of Krishna. And some 9 were great Kshatriyas. And remaining were the Brahmanas. So, like that, one should engage, first of all, his mind. Here, an example of Amrish Maharaj is given. What he did, first of all, one has to think of Krishna, has to meditate his mind upon Krishna. From there it starts. One has to fix his mind on Krishna. So how that is possible? That is possible when we have sadhu sangha and when we are hearing about Krishna. Just like suppose you want to go to US. So you will start doing? You will start seeing what all places are there to visit in US. What all things people like to do in US. How many days I should go, this and that. You are working on those aspects. You are exploring everything, doing research, hearing from people. What all you are doing? You are just hearing about US, what I have to do. Right? You are thinking, oh, after reaching there, what all activities I'll do. I'll first go to this place, then to that place. I'll visit my friend, I'll visit that relative, this relative. All these things we are planning out. The same way, when we hear of the activities of Krishna, when we hear of his message, so what happens? By doing so, our mind is absorbed in Krishna. And after doing that, what happens? We want to serve Krishna by preparing some bhoga. We want to visit his temple. Or let me go and visit his temple, have his darshan. So by doing that, what happens? Our mind get absorbed. Oh, so beautiful are the deities. Deities every day, new dress they are dressed into, adorned with. So what happens? Our mind get attracted. Oh, so beautiful they are looking today. This colored dress, that colored dress. See how nice is the garland Krishna is wearing. Like that, when we start seeing, so what is happening? Our mind is getting absorbed in Krishna. By visiting temple, by hearing kirtans, by hearing pravachans, katha, by reading about Krishna's instructions, Krishna's pastime. So our mind is getting absorbed. By doing services, here Very nice thing Prabhupada mentioned here. Unless the mind is fixed on the lotus feet of the Lord by constant remembrance, such transcendental engagements are not practical. Mean, a person may be doing all kinds of services, but he is not thinking that Bhokta, the beneficiary of all these services, Krishna, is not absorbed thinking of Krishna, but he is doing mechanically, just for the sake of doing, he is doing. So by doing that, he will not get that attachment for Krishna. He may get some result. Krishna is very merciful, very kind. Some result definitely he will get. Some Sukriti, it's known as Agyata Sukriti. Agyata Sukriti he will get. But that attachment for Krishna, Asakti for Krishna will not be there. So we have to develop this attachment for Krishna. And initially, in initial stage, it is very important that one, under the strict guidance, rules and regulations, one should practice the principles of Bhakti Yoga. Then gradually he will come to the stage where he will perform devotional service out of love. Nobody is telling anything, but still he is doing. So like that, here an example of Amrish Maharaj is given, where Amrish Maharaj, each and every senses he engaged. He was the king of the entire this planet, Amrish Maharaj. This is from, I think, Satyuga or Treta Yuga. King Amrish Maharaj was from Satyuga, Treta Yuga. So he engaged all his senses. He is the king of all this earthly planet, and he is engaging his mind in thinking of Krishna. He is engaging his words in glorifying and offering prayers to Krishna. He is engaging his ears in hearing about Krishna, Krishna's pastime, Krishna's instructions. He is engaging his eyes in seeing the beautiful form of Krishna, having his darshan. He is engaging his nose in smelling the fragrance of the flowers which has been offered to Krishna. Just like if some of you would have visited our temple in Vrindavan here. So what we do, every morning we get a chance, an opportunity to smell the flowers or the garlands which has been offered to Krishna previous day. We get the chance to smell the fragrance of those flowers or the garlands. Very soothing smell we get. Next is, he was engaging his tongue in eating Krishna Prasadam. He was engaging his hands in cleaning the temple of the Lord, even though he is a king, but he is engaging his hands in doing services, rendering services or cleaning the temple. Engaging his legs for doing parikrama, for walking to the temple, head in offering the obeisances, his desires, what kind of desires, how I can spread Krishna's message, this world can be more peaceful. So our desires, when it get aligned with Krishna's desire, so our desire are no more going to bind us, but going to liberate us. Just like people have a desire, most of the people have the desire to have a nice home, that I should have a nice house, I should have this big house for me. Whereas a devotee desires we should have a nice temple for Krishna, or my house should be very near to Krishna's temple so that I can go every day and have the darshan. I can engage in temple's activities. Like that, they desire. I should have a house in Vrindavan or such pilgrimage, some sacred place where Krishna's pastime is there. So, by having such desire, these desires are no more material desires but are spiritual desires. And such desires are possible only when one has a devotion in his heart. And one has a devotion in his heart. And by doing so, what Krishna is saying for Amrish Maharaj, that I don't have control over my own self. Such devotees directly control me. Suppose someone start you controlling. Out of nowhere he is controlling you. Will not like that. But if someone loves you a lot and you love that person a lot, you yourself would like that this person should control me. You yourself will give that adhikara or that right to the person to control. So that control Krishna has given to his devotees. Is given to his devotees. So when Amrish Maharaj he was observing Ekadashi, he was about to do break the fast. So that point of time, Dhruv Maharaj he came. Dhruvasa Muni he came, and Amrish Maharaj, to honor, because he is a Muni, he is a Sadhu, he has to receive him. And the first principle of Grihastha is to satisfy the guest, especially Brahmanas and the Sadhus first. Then they will eat or do something. So this Dhruvasa Muni he said, okay, we'll break the first fast together. First I'll go and have complete my morning rituals, dip in the river, and I'll return and will break the fast. So Amrish Maharaj he said, okay. He was waiting for the Dhruvasa Muni, and Dhruvasa Muni did not return, and Amrish Maharaj that time was getting over. So Amrish Maharaj, what he did after consulting with various Brahmanas, they suggested that drinking water is as good as breaking the fast. So you can drink the water. So he drank the water, and Amrish, when this Dhruvasa Muni came to know, he became very furious, very angry on Amrish Maharaj. And doing this, what happened? When he became angry, he was about to curse. The Sudarshan Chakra, which was employed in the service or for the protection of Amrish Maharaj by Krishna, was chasing Dhruvasa Muni like anything. He was running here and there, entire universe is running, chasing, but Sudarshan Chakra is chasing this Dhruvasa Muni. He went to Brahmaloka. Brahmaji could not protect. He said, I cannot do anything, but Lord Shiva can suggest or protect you, give protection. Lord Shiva also could not protect. Then they went to Vaikuntha. There Krishna said, no, I cannot protect because I am under the control of my devotees, and you have offended my devotee. He only can do something. So this Dhruvasa Muni, he went back and asked for forgiveness from Amrish Maharaj, and by this he forgave him and he was saved to Dhruvasa Muni. So even though Dhruvasa Muni is a exalted yogi, but even this Amrish Maharaj, he is a Grihastha, he is a king, a Kshatriya. If we see, ashram is also less comparatively, and Varna is also less. Ashram and Varna both are lesser than that of Dhruvasa Muni. But still, Because of his devotion, Krishna is personally taking care of him. And that is what Krishna promises to each one of us. Antya prati janehi name bhakta pranishyati. I promise that my devotees will never perish. My devotees will never perish. And this promise Krishna is making in Bhagavad Gita to all of us. He is making one more promise. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana pariyupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam. So, one who is always thinking of Krishna, serving Krishna, Krishna personally provides whatever we lack and personally preserve whatever we have. So that's how one has to absorb his mind, and when one's mind is completely absorbed in Krishna's service, that is what is stage of samadhi is. That is what is samadhi. And that is what Krishna is asking Arjuna to do. Ma manusmrana yuddhacha. You think of me and fight. Mam anusmrana means you think of me. Mam means me. Think of me. Mam anusmrana yuddhacha. And cha means yuddhacha means you also fight. Think of me and also fight. So like that, what we should try that entire day we are absorbed in thinking of Krishna. When we move to the next verse, Yatha deepo nivatistho nengate sopama smrtaha yogino yuddhachittasya yuddhato yogamatmanaha. As a lamp in a windless place does not waver, so the transcendentalist, whose mind is controlled, remains always steady in his meditation on the transcendent self. So here Krishna is using an analogy. What is that? As the lamp in a windless place does not waver, the lamp, that flame of the lamp does not waver in a windless place. There is a quiet place where wind is not there. It will be fixed. That flame of the lamp will be fixed. Right? So the transcendentalist whose mind is controlled. So here Krishna using that analogy, the transcendentalist means a yogi whose mind is controlled. That is the role of mind. See how important it is. If mind is controlled, he will always remain steady, just like flame is steady. Flame size, if you observe, you can do this experiment, and you must have seen in your childhood days. I remember when I used to, because those days electricity, there is a problem some 20 years back. Yeah, around 20 years back, there used to be electricity problem in Uttar Pradesh. So a lot of power cuts used to be there, and inverters were new to us. Even inverters are not able to last for long hours, because power cut is 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. So inverters 2 hours, 3 hours, like that they used to give power support. So what we used to do is we used to light the lamp or candles to do our work. So sometime when I'm studying, so my attention is going, I still remember my attention used to go on that candle, how this candle is burning. There are different colors to it. When there is no wind is there, so candle, that flame is very steady, right? Flame is very steady. So same way, a person whose mind is completely controlled, and how it can be controlled? It can be controlled when we are thinking of Krishna. So by doing that, what will happen? Our mind will be steady. That stage of samadhi will be steady. Otherwise, mind goes here and there. Immediately, there is a chance of degrading, or there is a chance of falling. So one has to, by the practice, one has to control the mind, or one has to meditate. It is not like, oh, it will come automatically. No, it will not come automatically. One has to practice. Krishna is going to mention in the further verses, Abhyasa Yogena. By practice only, it is possible to control the mind or think of Krishna. By doing that, one's mind is controlled. He is situated in the trance. He is situated in the self. He is driving happiness. Just like now we drive happiness from various things. I want car, I want good mobile phone, I want this, I want some nice house, nice wife, friends, relatives, all these things we want. Some kind of appreciation from someone. All these things we are hankering after. But once we are situated on that transcendental platform, we are situated in the self. All these things are there or not there does not make any difference. We'll be always happy. We'll be situated in Atma Rama stage, where we are always happy in spite of the situation around us. Purport, just will read. A truly Krishna conscious person, always absorbed in transcendence, in constant undisturbed meditation on his worshipable Lord, is as steady as a lamp in a wilderness place. Right? So it is very, very important for a person, and that is what is perfection of yoga. What is that? To always absorb to perfection of yoga is to attain samadhi. And samadhi is always absorbed our mind on that supreme personality of Godhead, which exists in three aspects. What are those three aspects? Anyone would like to share?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
So three aspects is one is Brahma, and then Paramatma, and then Krishna's personal form.
Yes. Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. So when we think in those three, any of those three aspects of Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead, so we are situated in samadhi. And by attaining or by situating ourselves on samadhi, we are completely free from the material activities. We are no more on the material platform. We are no more on the material platform. Even though we are doing the same activity, it is on the spiritual platform, on the transcendental platform, which is going to liberate us from the cycle of birth and death. With this, we'll close here. Anyone has any questions or anything to share or ask? Any questions?
Prabhuji, Amrish Maharaj, what you have just narrated, the story. So why Durvasa Rishi was angry on Amrish Maharaj? Because water was consumed before it. So what exactly you were saying at that time?
So yes, so Durvasa Muni, he was angry on Amrish Maharaj because the thing is, as per the principle, a Grhastha should first satisfy his guest, or especially Brahmana or Rishi Muni like that. That is the first and foremost duty. Rather than keeping onto that principle, he drank the water, and whereas that was this thing like, Durvasa Muni will return back, and Amrish Maharaj's duty, ideally, what he should do is first serve Durvasa Muni. Once he is satisfied, then he can break the fast or he can consume the water. But rather than doing that, what happened? Amrish Maharaj, because the time was passing away, he drank the water just to break the fast. So, seeing this, Durvasa Muni, he became very angry, and he was about to curse, because Durvasa Muni, he is a very rudra, very easily gets angry on anyone. So like that he got angry, and because Krishna has personally employed Sudarshan Chakra in the service or in the protection of Amrish Maharaj, because Amrish Maharaj is a very exalted pure devotee of Krishna, so immediately Sudarshan Chakra started chasing Durvasa. So that is one of the
Sorry.
Yeah, so that is the one of the foremost principle in bhakti is one should not offend. We chant the 10 offenses to the holy name. First and foremost offenses, one should not blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life in service of Krishna. So one should not offend the devotees or a Vaishnava, whatsoever it may be. One should not speak ill or should not find any faults in the devotees. That is the first and foremost. By doing that, what happens? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained. If one starts finding faults in a devotee or criticizing, so what happens? Whatever bhakti we have, we'll lose that bhakti. So one should be very careful of the Vaishnava aparadh, Vaishnava offense to the Vaishnavas. It is like the example is compared is like it is compared to an elephant who takes a bath and comes in the garden again. Again, he puts the mud or the soil on himself. Just now, elephant has taken bath in nice lake or pond. He comes out and again puts the mud on his head. It is what is use of taking bath? Again, he got dirty. So same way, if a person he offends the Vaishnavas by criticizing, by finding faults, or by any such means, what will happen? His bhakti pranashyati means will be destroyed. Because Krishna cannot tolerate offense towards his devotees. He cannot tolerate that. So yes, you were saying something. Hope this helps you.
Yeah, Prabhuji. So that was
You
good.
were
Thank you.
asking something.
I was just asking that since Durvasa Rishi was also an exalted personality, as you said, so in that case, why he should have been angry and why he was uh, getting angry, especially on Vaishnava like Amrish Maharaj?
Yeah, so it happens out of our anarthas. All of us has certain nature and anarthas which are there deep rooted in our heart. Someone may be angry, someone may be lusty, someone may be, lobha, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, matsarya, mada. All these things are there. Puja, labha, pratishta. Some people, they want all such things. They are illusion. They want some kind of recognition. All these are anarthas. Right? So what happens? You will see that person naturally wants such things. Naturally he get angry. Naturally he is very greedy. So all these are anarthas. So these anarthas Krishna shares in the Bhagavad Gita are gateway to hell. So even these are like a nature for us, second nature for us, very difficult to overcome. It can be overcome only by intense Tivra Yogena Bhakti, by performing Tivra Bhakti only it is possible. By performing devotional service, one can get rid of this weeds or these anarthas. But if we suppose we are performing bhakti, it is compared very nicely. It has been explained. Just like you plant some, plant in a field. Some crop or some plant is there. You have planted in that field. So you are watering every day, putting manure, everything you are doing. But some weed has also come. So what will happen? That same manure weed is taking, same water weed is taking. The plant which is going to yield some fruits or vegetable, rather than that plant is getting nourished, this weed is getting nourished. So what is happening? When we are performing bhakti, if we are not careful, we start feeding our anarthas. And by feeding anarthas, what is happening? These anarthas are growing, or bhakti is not growing. So one person, a person who is practicing Krishna consciousness, he has to be very vigilant. He has to introspect himself and take the guidance. By doing that, what happens? He can progress in bhakti. Otherwise, these weeds will grow so much so that this original plant, which is going to give some vegetable or fruit, will choke, will get malnutrition, and gradually will get dry up. That's how you may see a people who is practicing Krishna consciousness, yoga or bhakti for a long period of time. Something small thing may happen and they may leave practicing Krishna consciousness. They may leave the path of yoga because of this anarthas. Because what happens, our natural tendency is to feed these anarthas. Feed these anarthas rather than to feed or to take care of the bhakti lata, to take care of the tree or this plant of bhakti. So that's how this bhakti has to be practiced in association of devotees. Because by this we can understand what is right, what is wrong, what to do, what not to do, and we can make advancement. Okay. So hope this is clear.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So we'll do the chanting. Anyone has any other question? Any other question is there? Okay. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki
Jai.
Jai,
Pad ki
Jai.
Jai,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Krishna.